Hello and welcome to the second video in which I'm developing my desktop pixel app using my custom C++ GUI framework that I've coded over the past 12 months. This app is based loosely on Amiga DPaint 3, so it's just a index palette pixel editor with layers, brushes and all that good stuff to follow. But in the last video I showed you how the basic colour editing worked using the palette editor. And in this video I'm going to show you how the new colour ramps work. So before we start, let's create some custom colours. So we'll have a nice little gradient from black to white. So if we go to our gradient there and we just hold down shift and select the black colour, that produces the nice little grayscale gradient, and we'll click on accept, and we'll have another one here. Let's have a nice bright gradient here, so bright red there to nice max cyan up here, and we'll also have an intermediate colour in the middle which will be yellow, but we'll max it out a bit. There we go. So if we go to there, hold down shift and select the blue. Actually, if we go to gradient, show you a different way, click on the index A button there, index B button there, that's the gradient. Click on the via button, want it via that nice yellow will be set. So there we go, we've got a nice red to yellow to cyan gradient. And as I showed on the last video, we can just change the location of the middle colour if we wanted to, or we can change the hue, or the saturation, all good stuff like that. But we want that to be 0, and we'll accept that one there. Do you want another one? Yeah, why not? We'll have that one to be blue, green. Yeah, it's green. So green to blue. And there we go. Gradient accept. We can also change or reverse the gradient by just moving these sliders here. So now it's going blue to green, instead of green to blue, and we'll accept that. So that's what we've done. We've basically got the random colours from 0 to 16 there, and we've created some gradients. Awesome. Now if we go to the colour ramp to the bottom, a colour ramp is like the DPaint palette range, which is basically a group for indices. So an index can be in multiple ramps, but a ramp can only contain one of each indices, so we can't duplicate. So I'll just show you what we mean here. So we go to add ramp, adds a new ramp there, and we'll just rename that one as first. As you can see, the GUI is handling this nicely, still doing 60 frames per second. Got a nice little text entry there. So we add a blank ramp, it adds 2 indexes. Now to set the index colour, if you hover over it, it tells you at the bottom, you need to left mouse to select a colour. So click on there, little picker comes up, colour picker, and we need to pick a colour anywhere in the index, in the palette. So we'll select that one. Automatically changes, and we'll go the same for the last one. We'll go for a nice red colour. So we've got 2 indices in our ramp. What we can do now is we can add a new index to the top of the ramp, or one to the bottom of the ramp, or if we select one of the items we can insert before that selection. So there we go. So we now got some blank indices in the ramp, and we need to populate them, so we'll just populate them. There we go, there we go, there we go. As you can see, that was quite cumbersome. We have to go down here and click every time. So if we just go to an item here, click on that, hold down shift, we can do a mass population there. So as you can see, I've got shift held down, it moves straight to the next one, straight to the next one, and there we go. And that's a quick way to add indices to the ramp. If you get to the end and you've got shift held down, it'll move, add extra indices to the end of the ramp. There we go. So we've added an extra one there just by selecting the colours. Of course, we've got full selection, so we can select multiple items, we can select all or none, we can select all and inverse the selection. We can move the selection up the ramp or down the ramp. We can inverse the selection, so instead of 37, 38, we can make it 38, 37. Probably can't see much there. There we go. That's a bigger jump. What else can we do? Yeah, if we go to the top and clear all them, select number 1, we can hold down Shift and select number 5, and that'll select all the intermediate items too. So that's quick selection tools there. So that's how we can create an empty ramp. So we can add another one there. And that'd be number 2. Second, I think. We'll call one first. There we go. So we've got a nice little drop down. We've got first and second. And again, we could just click on whatever ramp in this, whatever palette we want there, and that's that ramp there. What we can also do is we can use these nice gradients we created to select a palette range there and just click on add there, and that will auto populate with any selection we've got. So as you can see there, it's created a ramp that contains our entire grayscale, and we'll just rename it to grayscale. Lovely, and then we'll have that one there also. And we'll call that one red to cyan. There we go, nice. Another thing we can do for this here is we can have a selection of maybe that portion there, and we can do some sorts. This probably won't work very well because they're already gradiented, so what we'll do actually is we'll cancel that and we'll just select all these random colours at the top. We don't want a gradient, it's auto populated because we want the gradient tab. We just want to add a new ramp there, and we'll call this one random because it's the random colours at the top. Right, so for all these random colours, not very much use as they are. So if we select them all, we could do some sorts. I'll just collapse that. So we can sort by index. They're already in index number. So we'll just move them ones down. We'll inverse these ones. So that's a bit of a random order now. So if we select them all and sort by index, it'll put it back to where it was. We can also order by the hue, basically the colour. So it should go red to blue. There we go. And back to red again because hue is a 360 circle. We can undo that if we wanted to. There we go. And we can sort by saturation. So how much colour is in the actual palette index, so basically how not grey it is. And again, we can undo that. We can sort by brightness. So we've got the dark greens and greys, then the dark reds, and it goes up to the very pale blue there. So that's quite useful, which is nice. Now what we can also do is, if we select these greens here, and we'll create a ramp, and we'll call that foliage. What we could do is select all the items in that ramp, and we can automatically change the hue of those items, and it will change the actual palette colours. So we can decrease the hue, as you see, to go more autumnal. We can undo that, or we can make them go towards the blue. We can undo that. We do it in smaller steps. There we go. We can also change the saturation, so we can make them washed out. There we go. Or super saturated, but I think these are saturated anyway, so it won't make much difference. And we can also change the value or the brightness, so we can make them darker or lighter. And as you can see, automatically change the colours in the palette too. We go back to our original foliage there. So that's it. So we've got the selection, inverse. Oh, didn't show you the delete. So if we have a selection here, and if we click on the trash can there, if we click with the left mouse button, it will just delete those items from the list. It doesn't delete the palette indexes, it just deletes the items from the group or the ramp. If we undo that, and if we hold down shift and press the trash can, it just clears those entries there, ready for other colours to be selected. And as you can see, the ramp is independent of the palette. The ramp is just a group of palette items in a specific order, which can be used later on for other draw tools such as shading or colour palette cycling. So yeah, that is the ramps, or colour ramps. I'll just show you that delete works. So if we go down to there, now down to random, red, cyan, grayscale, second and first. We can just delete all of them. And it's back to that one. If we undo, we can add them all back, which is quite useful. So yeah, that's my colour ramps. I'll probably need to add a duplicate or copy ramp function in there somewhere. And I'll definitely need to work on the palette. So this area here will be more palette tools such as copy, paste, insert, expand, contract, and sort, things like that. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. It doesn't drop a beat. Can't get below 59 frames per second, and it's using my graphics engine pretty well, and my GUI seems to be standing up and working very well indeed. If you've got any comments, let me know. If you've got any features that you want to add, let me know, because I want to release this as a proper desktop app at some point. I'm enjoying using it, and I will definitely enjoy using it when it's complete, because I remember back in the day of using DPaint 3 on the Amiga, and I spent hours and hours on that package using it. So I kind of missed that. So this is my nostalgia trip. So yeah, any comments, let me know, and please like and subscribe if you want to continue to see more videos of me in my development hell. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.